Hi YouTube! So today I'm going to share the story of how I got my jaws broken. When I was about 9 years old, my doctor had told me, my orthodontist told me that my top jaw had stopped growing and that I would eventually have to get double jaw reconstructive surgery to fix my underbite that I would have once I was fully grown. Up until I was about 14 or 15, we were playing the waiting game, and I went to a new orthodontist and got my full set of braces. They corrected my teeth probably within a year. I then got my wisdom teeth pulled. I had to wait longer after that for that to heal. April 24th, I got my jaws broken. I went to the MedStar Hospital in DC. My doctor had to go to that hospital. He said there was technology there that he was going to use for my case specifically. A week before my surgery, I had to go to the hospital for my pre-op appointment, and I basically got a physical done. I actually took videos that day. You can see how my jaw was positioned, how I used to sound, how I talked, and just how different I looked.
Today I'm at the MedStar hospital in DC. This is where I'm getting my surgery done, in that building back there. They took a whole bunch of measurements and pictures and x-rays of my teeth and my jaw and everything, and they're gonna put it all into like this database basically that will calculate the surgery for them so that they don't make any mistakes.
On the day of my surgery, I had to be there around 7 in the morning. I met my surgeons there. I got there, checked in, they checked me into my room, I changed, and then they just started going over basically everything that I had to know before and what I would be expecting after the surgery. I didn't really cry, I wasn't scared. Even the years leading up to it, I wasn't really ever nervous about it. The only time I was really anxious or was crying was when they put the IV in my arm. I'm a crybaby. They wheeled me into this cold room and they put me to sleep. When I woke up, I was in my room. My jaws weren't locked yet because I don't know why my surgeon didn't lock them before I got up. They were supposed to do it after, but my doctor never came. I spent the night in the hospital for one night, and I called him several times. He never came and wired my jaw shut. So the next morning when I woke up, my mom came to get me. I was just ready to go. I had no reason to still be in the hospital, so I just went home. And the day after that, my mom took me to my actual doctor's office and he wired my jaw shut. For a small period of time, I could talk and open my mouth. I just really couldn't feel anything.
It is me, girl. I just got surgery to fix my face, fix something, so I'm gonna look really different, but it's good.
When I went to my doctor's office, he used a lot of small rubber bands to basically band my jaw shut, and I had hooks put on my braces wire that he used to wire my jaw shut. So my orthodontist and my orthodontic surgeon kind of had to go head in head, kind of collaborate to make this happen. When I went home, it was cool. I wasn't really hungry or thirsty, but I did like make sure to constantly have fluid in me because I remember my doctor saying that a lot of people get really dehydrated and start to look really flushed and like sick because they kind of stop feeding themselves after the surgery, because it really makes you not have an appetite. You don't really want to eat or drink anything. Your brain, like, it notices the shock your body just went through and you really don't have an appetite for anything. But once you psychologically get over the fact you just had surgery, you get hungry. I was so sad. It really took a toll on me, and then not being able to talk as well. It was really stressful. It taught me a lot of patience, not only with other people, but with myself. Just learning that like I have to wait 2 months until I can, get my jaw unlocked and I can actually speak. Every week I had to go to my doctor's office. I think I went on Tuesdays. He just wanted to check me, make sure my swelling was going down okay, make sure I looked okay, like I was eating okay. And then he would also ask me, like, emotionally, how did I feel? I underestimated the effects and the toll that it would take on me. I knew it was going to be really, really stressful for my actual body, so I was prepared for that, but I never really thought emotionally how not being able to speak or eat would do to me. And then because my jaw was locked, I couldn't do a lot of things. I didn't really exercise or go anywhere or do anything other than lay in the bed. After about 3 weeks of me trying to eat soups and puree spaghetti, I put so much disgusting stuff in the blender. I put Chinese food, fried rice and General Tso's chicken, and like chicken broth in a Vitamix blend. It was good because like it's Chinese food, but drinking Chinese food, no. I couldn't do it. After I threw up my first time, one day I tried to make a smoothie and I put probiotic powder in it. Right after the surgery, I was on amoxicillin and it was starting to make my eczema break out. I stopped taking it soon, and then I started drinking wanted to drink probiotic things to cancel out the antibiotics that I just had. I made the smoothie and I threw up. It was disgusting. I could not stomach the taste of it. And throwing up with your jaw wired shut is not fun. It was not anything. It was very interesting. It was weird because there's no chunks. I just drank liquid, so I was just spitting up liquid and it was just nasty tasting it again. After about the 3rd or 4th week, I was just like, I was over it. I remember crying to my mom like, "Mommy, this is so nasty. I don't want to eat this disgusting stuff." I was drinking Ensure, chocolate Ensure, and that was perfectly fine for me. I drink like 4 or 5 of those a day, and I would just drink milkshakes. All I drank were milkshakes. I go get big tubs of ice cream, put them in a Vitamix with milk, and that was all I wanted. It was just milkshakes. I made so many different kinds of milkshakes. I honestly crave ice cream more than I ever have in my life after that surgery. After eating several servings of ice cream every day for like a month and a half, every day I like get the urge for an ice cream cone or a milkshake or some type of ice cream. A couple weeks after I got my jaw locked, I was happy mainly that I could talk, but as far as food wise, your stomach, your brain, you're not really going to crave things like you used to. I definitely did in the beginning, but after a while you kind of get used to it. I don't really crave food like that. I just crave to feel full. I honestly still do drink Ensure. It really messes up your diet, your appetite. Some things I don't really digest well anymore because I just wasn't eating it for so long. I don't really digest meat well anymore. It kind of makes me sick because I wasn't eating it for so long, and then I went back to, and ate a steak and was like, it's good, but it doesn't really make me feel good. When I weighed in to get my jaw unlocked, I was 107 pounds, I believe. It was kind of scary seeing yourself be that small. I have not been that small since maybe the 6th grade, and I'm 19 years old and I'm 107 pounds. It was kind of scary. I could tell that I was way weaker and way smaller. A lot of my clothes still don't fit. I've gained back maybe 10 pounds. It's definitely in muscle mass. I have not really gained back any fat. I'm still a size 4, but I'm a little toned just because of daily activity that I wasn't doing while I was out of commission. My swelling went down really, really fast, and my face started to look back to normal a lot faster than normal people. I used to walk in my doctor's office and all of his secretaries and everybody was fascinated that I had just had my jaw broken, a couple weeks ago, and my face was pretty much back down to normal. And I honestly slept on my heating pad every night. I just slept on it. I slept on my heating pad. Yeah, it helped, definitely worked. And on top of that, I had oxycodone, so I was pretty chillin'. My jaw was like this, kind of. My jaw was, an underbite, but my jaw was shifted up. So when they broke my jaw, they moved this one forward, this one back, and they shifted everything they rotated it a little bit further. My doctor also made my nose a little bit smaller. He brought this in a little bit. I had an infection in my sinuses. He cut that out as well. I was pretty glad because since I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I had sinus infections out of nowhere, and ever since my surgery, I have not had any issues with it. I honestly breathe a lot better. A lot of people don't know, but I couldn't breathe out of like one side of my, like one nostril. I didn't pay much attention to it. I never even brought it to my parents' attention, but I was sitting in my doctor's office a couple days before my surgery, and he was telling my dad, he was like, we're gonna fight with the insurance company because this is a problem, and I know that she experiences issues with it. Like some kids can't breathe out of both nostrils, and some kids, you know, have sleep apnea. And I was like, I cannot breathe out of both nostrils. And my dad was like, why'd you never say anything? I was like, I don't know. I honestly thought it was normal. I thought I was just always congested because I have allergies too. I thought that was just normal, but now it's like, I have a better value of just breathing. It's so eye-opening. I have a better experience with eating. I actually bite into my food now. And I don't mean just biting a piece off, but chewing. I couldn't even chew before. When your teeth grow out of your gums, there are ridges on the top that are put there to rip through your gums. After you start using your teeth, they wear down. That's why the top of your teeth is flat. And I was 17 years old with rigid teeth because I never used them because I never bit down on anything before. The beginning of my digestive system has greatly improved because of my surgery. I got my jaw unlocked. The first thing I did was I went to McDonald's and got some oatmeal. It was really weird eating because even the way you put a spoon in your mouth, the way you open your mouth, the way you prepare for the spoon to come in your mouth, everything is different. Like, everything is moved around. It's like waking up and your whole room is different. Like, it's your room. It's familiar. It's the same furniture, but all your stuff is in a different place. It was so weird. So weird. Even my muscles, I was using my muscles in a different way. So after talking too much or chewing for too long, it started to hurt. It was like I was exercising a new part of the muscle because I wasn't used to using that muscle because I wasn't biting properly before. Because my top jaw was all around smaller, they had to stretch it a little bit during the surgery, and they put a splint on my teeth. So after I got my jaw unlocked, and I have a video from that as well, I had to keep the splint on, and I remember I was wearing it and it was fine, but it's literally just a thick piece of plastic that they had wired into my braces to just hold my jawbone in that place that they had set it in. I was eating, I forget what I was eating one day, and it snapped. So after that, they had taken it off and they gave me a TPA, which is basically an alternative to the splint, and I actually still have that in, but you can't see it. It's in the roof of my mouth. I am also missing a tooth on this side. People thought I got in a fight and somebody knocked my tooth out, but no. When this jaw stopped growing, the theory is that my jaw just didn't produce that new tooth because I've taken ample x-rays and the tooth is just not even up there. So after I get my braces off, which I should be within the next couple of months, so stay tuned, I'm going to get something called a Maryland bridge, and it's basically a tooth that has stickers on the side, and they adhere the stickers to the teeth next to where the tooth is gonna go. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. For a short period of time, I had my top braces off actually while they were making my TPA because they had to measure for it without my braces on. So they took my braces completely off on the top, and I had to wear a retainer for about 2 or 3 weeks until the TPA was made, because it was made in Florida and then shipped up here to Maryland. Once they got it, I went back in, they put the TPA in and put my braces back on the top. My bottom row had been straight for a long time, so they took my bottom row off, and I actually just wear a retainer on there now. Before I got my jaw broken, they got my teeth as straight as possible with my braces, and then after I got my jaw broken, I knew I was gonna have to wear them a little bit longer because they were going to tweak things depending on how my jaw was sitting in its new position. It was overall a really good, really crazy experience. I honestly thank God for it. I thank God that I even had the opportunity to do that, because it is expensive for one, and it's mentally, emotionally, and physically draining. I really thank my parents for being there, my mom and my dad. My mom really dealt with my breakdowns, and I don't know how else to thank her for that, because I even at the time was like, why am I crying because I can't drink this smoothie out of a straw? It was just stressful to be handicapped in that type of way, and I was not prepared for that. If someone told me that they were considering getting the surgery done, I would definitely advise to do it. You get a better quality out of everything. I even could tell that I sleep better at night. When I wake up, I feel better because my breathing is just better. Like it was tying into everything. I'm really appreciative that I was able to experience everything, like before and then the change and then after. It really opened my eyes to so much, and it made me view things a lot differently. I really want to thank Dr. Raja and Dr. Joe and Dr. Knight. They did such an amazing job, and they continue to do an amazing job as they are still finishing me off. And I thank my family and my friends who dealt with me and helped me through that period of my life. I want to thank everybody who watched this. Please like and subscribe to my channel. More to come. I'm gonna finish my journey out, I think, on YouTube. I can't wait for the after results, and I may, dabble with some other stuff. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye.